It's time for Ink the Book Show with your host, Ryan O'Connor. And now, let's ink the book. Whoa, look where I am, everybody. Look where I am. I'm home. I'm so happy to be home. My goodness, am I happy to be home. The past 3 weeks have been nothing but trouble, and I am glad to have them behind me. I'm drinking some hot cocoa. Because I'm happy to be home. Okay, so I thought I was going to stream the next day. I still had one page with me at my parents' house where I was. So, which I plan on inking there. And then I got uprooted. Couldn't do the page anymore without coming up with some other rig. So I just figured I would just draw stuff on paper while I was there, get some doodling in, which I did a little bit of, not as much as I wanted to. Look at all these fives. I don't know what that is. This one, it's like a little angry princess. It says "Reluctant Princess Gert?" ? And I drew her a little more detailed over here. Gert is I drew like the idea was I was drawing a princess who didn't want to be a princess in that when I was doing that little character. I was just doing random character designs and seeing whatever ideas fell out. But then when I drew that one in particular, I thought it reminded me too much of Scotty Young's book, I Hate Fairyland, which is this thing here. Look at that. Oh, Scotty Young's pretty cool. Yeah. And I guess he's making new ones now. I only have this first volume. I think there's 4, maybe 6 volumes out. I don't really know. But this was a gift, and I thought it was pretty cute. She just like resents all this cutesy wootsy stuff, and she gets trapped in this world with nothing but that kind of stuff. And look, she's always trying to swear and stuff. And look, here she is. She's like, I think she's giving the moon the finger, and every time she swears, it comes out as like fluff. Like she's saying, "Fluff you." I don't know. It's kind of like what do you call that show? The Good Place. If I had to guess, I'd say it probably predates it. Anyway, I was just doing some doodling while I was away at my parents' house, and then things got harder to do. Man, it's like life doesn't want me to start an art business on the side of everything else I've got going on. But you know, I've got other plans in life. So I did this little guy the one day. I've showed these off already on this stream, but then I was trying to doodle. I'm trying to like learn to draw women a little better. This one, well, that was out of my head, but it's crummy. This one was later on after practicing for a while. I did this one all out of my head, and I like this one. I thought that was really nice. Here's a bad one that I did on my Chester A. Arthur. No, not Chester A. Arthur. Grover Cleveland drawing page. There were other drawings. Oh, I did this dinosaur thing, this crummy dinosaur thing. I only had some colored pencils at my disposal there. I copied some drawings from some artists I like. This is like a drawing from memory of a drawing that ended up not looking like anything like that one. I was trying to draw it out of my head. I like these doodles though. I think this was the biggest payoff out of my past 5 days. I'm ready to do page 80. Let's do it. You know, the page I was supposed to do before last month ended. I'm going to need a cup of tea soon. Oh, I'll just heat that water right now. Jiminy. So, yeah. Let's draw. I broke the stream there for a second. It looked like it was like I don't know what to do with where you just took me. Oh, I still don't see myself on my hand waving in front of the camera. Is it there? Hello? Did I bust the string? Dial 1 for yes. 2 for no. Can you see me waving? I can't see me waving. And the time isn't moving. Did I bust the stream? I'm going online. I'm checking it out. It looks like I might have. Oh, well, I'm telling you, life doesn't want me to make comics. You thought I was joking. I'm not joking. How's the stream hit? Yeah. Here, let me cut away. Here, can I remove myself from the stream and bring myself back in? Oh, here I am. Goodness golly gosh. I'm so happy I can hardly contain myself. Okay. We working? We working? Let's work. Mercy. So I was going to shrink this bonehead down. I'm going to have to trash this stream if it doesn't start cooperating. Okay. We're working. I'm telling you, we're working. Okay. So I was going to shrink this bonehead down, but my scanner isn't connected, and I didn't have time to waste. Okay. Okay, so here we are. We're back on track. Back in the saddle again. So, I'm not even going to get into the hijinks that I've been up to the past week, behind the scenes, but it hasn't been fun. And if I thought the last 2 weeks behind the scenes were troublesome, well, let's put it this way. I should never complain again. No, I did learn to appreciate a lot the past 4 or 5 days. Take nothing for granted. Okay. So anyway, like you have seen me within the past 5 days if you've been watching this channel. Apparently people watch this channel. Probably people I know personally. Well, there are people I don't know that subscribe to this channel, which I am appreciative of. That's more. Forgive me, people I know, but that's a little more meaningful. But whatever the case, tell your friends I'm on here drawing whenever possible, drawing my comic, figuring out how to make a graphic novel for the first time. And oh man, this month I have the stack of pages that I want to do this month sitting next to me. It's a hefty stack. There is another. I think it's a 2-page edition in the middle of the scene. Let's see. Yeah, I added 2 pages. So I wanted to get up to 111, which would be a cool last page to hit. But because I added 2 pages, what I'm really trying to hit is 109. If I hit 111, that would be cool too. It's a cool splash page. So, and that's including where I was the goal I was supposed to hit for the end of December. That includes me catching up with that goal, which ends on this page, and we're on the 6th of January. Isn't that cute? Okay, I didn't make him a whole lot smaller, but I'm able to suspend my disbelief with this shot. And if it really breaks my heart, which it might, I can edit that digitally a lot easier. Okay, and then he's got, oh, this should be black. Oh. Oh man, I'm gonna be able to sleep in my own bed tonight. My car's fixed, which is why I was away from home to begin with. But then I couldn't get it fixed for extra days. Life is full of surprises and funny little things. Okay, that's enough Bonehead. Let's get into these schmucks. I said, not drawing them, picking up a cup of coffee or tea, whatever I'm drinking. It's probably just alcohol anyway. No. Okay. So here's Mr. Shivos. So I was just listening to the band Ghost of Vroom, as I do. And Ghost of Vroom is Mike Doty's new band. with Scrap Livingston, his longtime cellist. They now Mike Doty's been a solo artist for the past 20 years about, and he decided recently, like, look, I'm gonna start a band. Since I've been with Scrap Livingston for all this time, like, we're just gonna be a band, like, and it's not gonna be, because it was like all his albums were under his name for the past 20 years about, and yeah, right about 20 years, and so he's like, we're gonna be Ghost of Vroom, which, I've heard Mike Doty say that Soul Coughing, which was the big band he was in the 90s, and I've heard him say that was a bad name, a bad band name, which I don't agree. I think that's an awesome band name, Soul Coughing. Sounds good. Sounds good. It's I don't know. I think it's a really cool band name, and on the contrary, I think Ghost of Vroom is a terrible band name. With partly due to the fact that I always have to say Ghost of Vroom. I can't. You can't just say it, because especially if you want people to be able to like look it up and like know what you're saying, like, because it sounds like Ghost of Room, but it's Ghost of Vroom, and the deal with that name is that back when Soul Coughing was a thing, their first album is called Ruby Vroom, which is a good name for an album. I mean, I like that as a name for an album. But they were talking about making like like after they put out that first album, they were talking about doing like allegedly they were talking about doing like some kind of like remix album of that first album and calling it Ghost of Vroom. And then when he was trying to do this new band, he was originally pitching it to the old Soul Coughing members, not the band name, but he was pitching this idea that they would do a tour of Soul Coughing songs, and then they would put out a new album or something, was kind of his thinking. And I don't know, I can see why they didn't go for it, because he, like, less than 10 years ago, he was on this big campaign where he was kind of like divorcing himself from association with the band, and then he put out an album of covers, Soul Coughing a solo album collection of covers that he was doing of his old songs. Not exactly covers, but you know what I mean. And but he for a while he was going around kind of like trashing his Soul Coughing days, and he goes to them saying, hey, want to do this tour? And they're like, no, man, get out of here. Like, he put out a book talking about how abusive they all were to him. So I understand why that didn't come to fruition, but But then he started this new band, which he thought felt kind of soul coughing-ish, and went with that title for the band. Now, makes way more sense as the album title than a band title, if you ask me. But I like the Ghost of Room album. I like Mike Doty in general. By the way, we're still streaming to both, what do you call it? YouTube and Twitch. And if I had streamed to Twitch, what was it? Friday? I don't even know what day it is anymore. No. On Wednesday, I think it would have been a straight week that I had streamed to Twitch. Which I intended to, but... Oh... No, wait, today's Thursday? It would have been Tuesday. I just looked at my calendar and I still don't know what day it is. Yeah, Tuesday. Oh, the places you'll go, to the bathroom and so on. Oh, the places you'll go. Away, etc. Oh man, why did I erase this hand? It made me think I didn't need to draw a hand there, and I do. I saw something about the new Wonder Years that I guess Don Cheadle is the narrator. I don't know, looked all right. I didn't really look too into that one, but it got me thinking about the original Wonder Years, which I never really watched. It was a little too, I don't know. It didn't look interesting to me as a kid. But as I was looking into the Wonder Years a little bit, it got me wanting to check it out, the original one. I don't know why, but so I think I might go looking for that, seeing where I can find that. Maybe tonight. Like I say, it's already pretty late to be starting a page. Should I flop back and start talking about Ghost of Vroom again? I'm mental. I do that a lot. But I thought of something that I should have talked about, I guess. So I like, I don't know. I like Mike Doty's. Well, first of all, I like Soul Coughing a lot. That's how. Let's see. I was introduced to Mike Doty's stuff through They Might Be Giants, because he does on the Mink Car album. He does a weird track called Mr. Excitement, where he does all these weird lyrics, and he also does this really cool song that was a B-side to Mink Car called "Your Mom's All Right," and I like that one way more. And like that's probably what they should have put on the album, if you ask me. But they both have their charm. But and then Yuval Gabe, I believe, was the drummer. I always get the members of Soul Coughing mixed up, but I believe it was Yuval was the drummer, and he was also on the Factory Showroom album doing drums for the secret track called "Token Back to Brooklyn." And you know, like there was a while where I was always looking at, I mean, I still kind of do, but I was always looking for more new music to listen to, and I was like, let's find out about these Soul Coughing guys. And I hear about Mike Doty, and I think, what was my first Soul Coughing track? Because I kind of checked out Soul Coughing and Mike Doty at the same time. And my first Mike Doty tracks were "Looking at the World from the Bottom of a Well" and "Gray Ghost," which are both on his first like full-length solo album. Called Haughty Melodic, which me and Liam have talked about before on here. It's a really good album. But yeah, Gray Ghost and "Looking at the World from the Bottom of a Well," which were kind of the more singly tracks from there, I think. Particularly "Looking at the World from the Bottom of a Well." And then my first Soul Coughing songs, well, I came to find out that I knew some stuff from El Oso, their third album, which were played on Cartoon Network a lot, like late night, but like during Space Ghost Coast to Coast days, about '98. They had these like, it was kind of like the Groovies that they did, but these ones were like they took like clips from old black and white hose cartoons, like the rubber hose animation days. They took a bunch of that animation and just kind of like looped it back and forth over like like the track "Rollin'," and what was the other one? They had a couple hits from that album. Well, there's were some unlikely ones apparently, but I don't remember those. "Rollin'" I do remember, and there was another Groovies one to "Circles," the Soul Coughing song "Circles," where I remember seeing like Secret Squirrel and all these Hanna-Barbera cartoons, like Fred Flintstone and that, walking around in literal circles, like they were in a circle and just like walking upside down, stuff like that. I remember seeing that too, so I recognized those songs from that when that album came out, but I didn't know, it didn't resonate with me until much later. And I became a fan of the band. But let me see. I'm not really sure what I dug up on. I do know, maybe I didn't look too into Soul Coughing yet, but I remember I was with my friend Kat Kane, who is in the links below. She did this Mothman pin on Kickstarter, and she does gaming streams and stuff. At the Twitch link I have, on YouTube anyway, and no, it should be at both. It should be at both. I went to a record store with her, and I found. Let me see. What did I buy? I bought 3 albums. I bought Doolittle by the Pixies. I bought Boo Hoo by Voltaire. And I bought Irresistible Bliss by Soul Coughing. That's their middle album. And it's a really good one. I mean, they're all really good. They only have the 3 albums. And they all are really good. Though I will say El Oso, the one with their hits on it, they're arguably like radio hits. Well, Super Bon Bon was a big hit for them. And that's on Irresistible Bliss. But what was I saying? Oh, I lost my train of thought. I don't know. This is why I can't have nice conversations. Because my brain is rotted from the inside out. No, Oh, it's not important. I like Mike Doty. I like Soul Coughing. I like Ghost of Vroom. Maybe you should like them too. Back to the old antics. Everybody drink. I hit my head. Guys, here among the things I am grateful for, having this setup available to me, because those last few streams I was leaning on the floor, drawing lying down through a plate of glass, and it was dumb and also impossible to comfortably draw. My viewer went away. That's okay. Do you guys know what time it is? It's like 10 o'clock. I'm here for my own personal goals. But I hope if anybody comes by, I just hope they're having a good time. I have high hopes for this year. I do, I do, I do. I think I'm going to do really fun stuff this year on this channel and in comics. We're gonna make it happen. 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 Ever heard of something like that? Oh, so I also haven't posted any drawings for the past couple days. And I will probably post extra stuff tonight. Including some of the stuff I just showed at the top of this broadcast. Which was stuff I intended to share. I'll probably pick something from that, color it, post some stuff that was in my sketchbook waiting to be posted, and maybe I'll draw something new. You know, I feel like there was kind of a mental challenge to drawing away from this desk. Now, last night I was sitting at a desk-like area that, I don't know, it came a little more naturally to me after a little bit. But other than that, I was feeling a little off when I would draw during the past few days. It was like I wasn't at this art table, is what I think. So it just kind of. So I haven't. When I draw, I haven't been away from this art table in a long time. Well, I have been away from this table when I was drawing a number of times, but I don't know. I was wondering if that had something to do with it. Maybe. It's a psychological thing. I was checking out my So I'm still drawing with the size 3 brush. And I kind of like the size 2 brush better. I feel a little more comfortable with it. But the one that I had, and I swear I thought I had more Winsor Newton size 2 brushes. I thought I bought extra size 2 brushes, but apparently I bought extra size 3 brushes, which is what I was using when I first started inking this book. So I guess that would make sense. I bought the one that I was using at the time. Because I have a bunch of size 3s, but no extra size 2s that I could find. And the one that I was using, kind of alternating between this one and that, it is spent from use and cleaning, and for what I guess about I'd say 90 pages or so of use, and cleaning and abuse. It so many fibers have come out of it that it's so weak. Here, I'll show you. It can't do the work. It's it's so soft that it's too hard to control. So I can keep it and use it for junk inking. I'm sure I could get some interesting use out of it to some capacity. But as far as straight up inking this comic, I can't use it anymore. So I'm going to have to order some new size 2 brushes. So that is the first Winsor Newton to crud out on me. So I'd say 90 pages into a project, which is about right. 90 pages into a project. Okay, so that one I wasn't using at first. Well, let's say 80 pages into a project. Because I've done more than 80 pages in this project. I've done closer to 90, but let's say 70 I've used. No, let's say about 80 is what I've used that brush on. And that's a good amount of use out of a brush. I would say. Let me see. I'm gonna ink this all black. This little doorway behind him. Or a hallway or whatever it is. My roommates are downstairs. They're watching sports. I think they're watching hockey. Yeah. Hockey. That's the stuff. I've heard tell of some hockey. I'm gonna put the problem with the past few days is I've had more free time on my hands, but less time to work. less opportunity to work, less access to my stuff. It's been frustrating. I mean, I hope you know by now that I would be on here every day if I could. Oh, I don't know how much of that I drew on the screen, with apologies. If you know me by now, you know that I never draw on screen. I put the camera on and I get right off of it. My Monty Burns being a cutie little wristband. I got the enamel pin for Christmas, and I got a whole bag of bands for Christmas because I was wearing this one all the time. Not that I don't want to show this one off, but I am breaking it up to show off this gift a little bit. I don't even know how much time it's spending on camera, but it was nice. And I do have a black and white exclusive Earthworm Jim enamel pin somewhere that I could put on one of these bands. I got a whole bag of wristbands. Like, I guess it's got to be my thing now, huh? I mean, it's not something I would. I don't know. I guess I was doing it. I was wearing a wristband on all my shows for a while, and now it'll be a thing. It'll be a thing. That's cool. I used to wear some wristbands in high school. Actually, this is from high school. I would wear this in high school. I just liked smiley faces. I don't even know where I got this. Oh, you know where I think I got it? I think I won it at like a Dave and Buster's or something. And I just liked smiley faces. So I was like, give me that one. And also it said bite me. Like, that's so punk rock. Now I'm punk rock. Then I ate like 16 raw sugar packets. I once did that. So my dad was was always on like softball teams, and after the games, their team would go to like a bar and just hang out. My dad didn't drink. My dad quit drinking when I was 5, or six, and but anyway, we were always at a bar, so he'd bring us, his kids, to this bar with him, like after the games, and we'd have our own like kids table, and they'd order us a pitcher of Coke, and they'd all be hanging out and talking about the game and whatever. And I remember one time in particular, it probably happened all the dang time, honestly. And we're drinking Pepsi, and like we have a whole pitcher of Pepsi, and I remember thinking it would be funny. I was like showing off in front of my brothers and sisters, and probably the other. I suspect there were other team members who had kids there too. At least sometimes. But I remember taking like the packets of sugar that were in the middle of every table, and I just took like a whole bunch of them one by one and would just dump them into my into my Pepsi. And then I'd be like, "Look how hyper I'm getting." And then my dad found out that I did that, and he was so mad at me. He's like, "What? What did I do?" Like, you've made a mess. Like, there's like a pile of sugar in the bottom of this glass. Ugh, it kind of grosses me out to think about that. It's like, and he didn't want his kids drinking mountains of sugar. Um, I'm going to let me. I just want to take a peek. Just make sure. Okay. Just want to make sure the broadcast was back to working. I just realized I never actually. I don't think I ever actually looked at it once it looked like it was working here. My phone, which is my point of reference as to what the audience is seeing. Okay. Yarn. Okay. Okay. Here's this. There's that. Man. So my lucky number is 2. And well, I knew better than to assume that 2022 would be my lucky year. But it's not gotten off to the start I was anticipating or hoped for. But I still have high hopes, everybody. I'm still pretty certain it's going to be a great year. I'm going to try and get going on the issue 1. It's like I said, this comic, like I've said before, this comic was not made to be issues. It was made to be one big book. But I'm trying to break it up into like limited edition issues, black and white issues for the near future. So I'm gonna start moving on that relatively soon. Within the next week or so, I believe. I'm gonna start trying to get the digital files arranged and cleaned up. And then figure out the logistics of putting together an issue to begin with. So we'll see how that works. And I'll kind of tell you how it all goes as I do it. I haven't scanned in any of the pages yet. And these are 11 by 17 artboards that I do these pages on. So I don't have an available scanner like in my house. You can get them. I've heard you can get them for relatively cheap. I've had a hard time finding them in the past. When I have found them, they weren't as cheap as I needed them to be. Though I will say I have found some on eBay. I know there's Brother scanners. I've heard of a Must-Hack scanner that does 11 by 17 or something close enough to that is workable. Like Doug TeNapel has this Must-Hack that when it craps out or breaks on him, he just goes on eBay and looks for the same model Must-Hack. And then Jason Brubaker somewhere on his channel, his YouTube channel, he has a video. Woo! I guess it's 1020 is what that alarm means. Yeah, 1020. Don't know why. Who knows? But Jason Brubaker, somewhere on his YouTube channel, has a video where he talks about a Brother scanner printer that he got for relatively cheap, I think, on eBay as well. Though I think I had to like pause the video to get the model number. And I went looking for that exact one. But yeah, I still don't have one myself. But I'm banking on the hope that the local library has a scanner that I can operate with. I'm sure there is access somewhere to a large format printer or scanner rather. Guys, I'm gonna have to ditch and go to the bathroom soon. Oh, our new friend, President Grover Cleveland, is tucked away in my bag somewhere. So he made the trip home with me. I don't know if he survived. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Let's see. I want to bring in a video, and that's the other thing. I want to start making new videos for this channel. We'll get to it soon. Boop 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 boop. Oh, wrong thing. What a dingus. What a nincow poop. Remove. Get out of here. Let's I'm gonna play a familiar video while I go to the bathroom, okay? Is that fair? Is that fair? I just haven't put it in here yet. Okay, you guys enjoy this while I go to the bathroom.
E. Peterson. The B stands for Beatrice, except I don't like Beatrice. I just like B, and that's all. You may know me for my world-famous books on behavior and discipline. Well, I have a brand new book with 12 more rules for young people, featuring brand new rules such as don't put gum in your hair unless you want a haircut. Those who color on the walls are doomed to repeat time out. And running with scissors is assuredly a one-way trip to chaos. Now, you might ask, well, why would I need 12 more rules to live by when I don't know what to do with the last 12? And I would answer that question with another question. Have you ever considered that rules themselves require rules of their own in order to properly follow them? If you haven't asked yourself that question, you might find that your life may soon be spiraling into an inescapable hell, the likes of which you might find rather disagreeable. This new book, called Jordan B. Peterson and His 12 Rules for Riding the Stupid Smelly Bus for Kindergartners, is coming soon to a Kindle near you, or wherever Canadian-authored books are permitted. Yours in Christ, Jordan B. Peterson.
I'm back. Long, long life. It's a long life. Okay. Can you hear the profanity from my roommate? I hope not. He'll be watching sports and he's just like, screw you. He's all but flipping tables. No, they sound like good cursing right now. Like positive cursing. Like he's F yes. Screw you, other team. You can just bloopity bloop bloop beep boop bop boop bloop. Let's see. I see that I lost some weight while I was gone. Which I've been trying to do since before the holidays started. And I apparently I think I lost more than I had the whole time I was trying to. And I wasn't even actively trying to this week. I'm literally down like 10 pounds. Which is good. I mean, I'm not a guy that desperately needs to lose weight, but I'm also not trying to desperately gain it either. You know. It's like I'm at the point in my life where my metabolism is going to start betraying me pretty hardcore. So I need to start acting less the fool about how I eat and stuff. Do kids still say act the fool? I'm asking for a much older friend. Okay. Just gonna go to black. Here, Mr. Shivers kind of reminds me of like a Nintendo character, like a Mushroom Kingdom character. He just seems, this particular picture of him really seems like he would fit in with the Mushroom Kingdom to me. Like usually lately he just reminds me of Donald Trump, which is not something I ever thought before inking this book. But lately it's like I keep seeing it, and it's kind of annoying. That's not what I'm going for with his character. It's his hair that makes me think that. But but in this picture, I don't get that vibe from him. I get like a Bowser, like Koopa Kids kind of vibe from him, which I'm more stoked about. So look, Bonehead's in the background, climbing out of the vent, and his bosses are like kind of celebrating their victory. They're just talking about how excited they are and stuff, and they're not noticing him. But if they would notice him, he'd be in huge trouble. He's got these kind of pockets too. What else? So here's the first thing I did when I got home really was clean this room, which was still kind of a wreck from Christmas, because I just brought everything into here. There were like cardboard boxes and like big paper shopping bag bags full of Christmas gifts and things like that. And I just kind of found a place for everything. I went and threw in a load of laundry. I just got everything sorted so I'd be kind of happy to live here again. Not that I wasn't happy to live here again. Not that I was living anywhere. I mean, I was basically living somewhere else for a week, but the better part of a week anyway. But I just, man, I don't know. I'm just happy to be here. But yeah, I just got a bunch of chores out of the way right away, which is kind of part of the reason I was catching up with my roommates. They got the full details of my past week. Not that I don't like you, but some of it's a little more personal than I'm willing to talk about here. But it's if you know me, seek me out. I'll talk to you about it. Like it's a miracle. Not a miracle, but it's a. I think I streamed more than most people would have this week, given my circumstances. Is all I'm gonna say. And again, I will harp on what I'm always harping on. The fact that life's gonna try and get in your way of making comics or making your project or doing your big dream. It's like there's a line in The Office, even that to bring it to a even more pedestrian level, but she says at one point, "There's always a million reasons not to do something," and that's true. Now, I didn't get to stream the past couple days. I maybe even could have streamed at least one of those days if I'd gotten it in early enough. But you know, I'm just saying, life's gonna try and stop you, and you can't let it. Don't you let it. I'm wondering if I should color in this background black, and I think I'm gonna not. I think I'm gonna opt not to. Like this little inside background behind Bonehead's head, here and here, that I've shaded with the pencil. I don't think I'm going to. So this alarm goes off because in one of the last page I did, as a distraction, Mort decides to pull a fire alarm. And these two, they're worried about their top secret project being compromised by fire, possibly. By a fire in the building. So they're going to run back to the lab and go make sure everything's okay. Weird impulse, I guess, in the case of a potential fire. But this is these guys' big endeavor for the past who knows how many years. I thought about doing like a I don't know if I do or not in the script. Like 10 years later, or like after that first scene when we see Denton Crux when he's younger. The first scene in the book is Denton Crux when he's younger, and he's like in a spacesuit and he's out space traveling. Well, at the end of that scene, we transition to the first scene with Bonehead, and like I don't know how many years have passed. I was thinking 10, but I actually feel like it should be more. But I don't know. I don't know if I do it, if I have it in the script as being like many years later or 10 years later or what. I don't know if I even do anything. Acknowledge that time has passed. Of course, I haven't put in any of the words on the book yet, so it's always a decision I can make later. I mean, I should probably put something, right? You want to confuse readers with why his hair is gone now. I mean, it should be fairly clear, but still. Yeah, he has hair in the beginning. Looks like some kind of worms for hair. Or tendrils. His hair is going to be green. I don't know if I may have put some illustrations I've done of younger Denton Crux. I might have used them for artwork in these videos before. I know I have a bunch of drawings that in the folders that I use for the artwork for these videos on YouTube anyway. I know there's a couple drawings of young Denton Crux in some of those. There was some Bonehead concept art in some of those sketchbooks. Actually, the artwork for today's video on YouTube is this little devil baddie from the first from the video game version that kind of started. I don't think it made it into the actual game that we made, the little level that we made, which wasn't anything too wild or impressive, but I didn't yeah, we didn't actually put that character into the game, but he was in the like the artwork that I designed for a game. Like I basically designed a first actual level later on, like a big full-fledged, like I designed a level on paper across like 4 notebook pages, and then I made up a bunch of other level concepts and and some baddies and all kinds of stuff for a Bonehead video game. So if any of my programming friends, any programmers out there, and I did do a bunch of Bonehead animations back then for the playable level that we made, and that was pretty cool. I mean, that was really cool. I'll have to ask my buddy Ben if he still has that somewhere. I'm sure I still have it somewhere, but I could not begin to tell you where. One day I'll whip that out for you. It's not the most impressive stuff that ended up into that game, but I would say the animations were some of my most solid animations. The Bonehead character animations. And I did some bug animations where this little bug baddie would walk around on the ground, and then it had this mouth that like would snap at you, and then he had like little wings on his back that would like flutter as he walked. Then Bonehead would throw poison at it. Bonehead would reach into his cranium, pull out bottles of poison, and whip them at these bugs. That was the first Bonehead product I ever made. I mean, I've talked about all that before. But, yeah, one day I got to talk to Ben about that gameplay. See if I can put that on screen, and that would be cool. That'd be cool to show off. Now, that ended up being nothing like the game level I designed, like on paper, which would have been a really cool level, I thought. The stuff in that game that I was cooking up in my head was pretty neat. So I could put out a cool. I could help design a really cool Bonehead game. I think there's enough material there, and especially with like stuff in this book, and like I could help design a cool video game with some programming people and game artists, I'll bet. uh, I have a bunch of Elton John songs shuffling through my head right now, and I don't know any of them well enough to sing them. So you're welcome. There. That was easy. Christmas sure came late. Ooh, that's all jacked. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Ah, Shkreta Wenort. That's something my mom always used to say to me growing up because she speaks Gaelic because she's from Ireland. And Shkreta Wenort means something like a million screams on you. Which I didn't find out until I was, I want to say about 20. Ah, Shkreta Wenort. Shkreta Mile Wenort. Like she's like an old gypsy cursing me. I mean, come on. Not too far from my dad. My what was it? There's something where my dad's like, "What are you, a witch?" Like I forget what it was, but it was like when they were first dating or something, and she was kind of like frustrated with him, and something she said sounded like she was like hexing him. I don't know. Those different cultures. My mom is kind of a witchy woman for not being a witch. And when I was a kid, she used to dress like some kind of punk rock supervillain. And the weird thing is, I don't think she meant to. Because like I have memories of the kind of stuff she would wear, and then I would see little glimpses of it in some of the like home videos, and I'm like, what are you wearing? But it's, it was like the 80s, so it was kind of normal, but you know. No, it was the 90s, by the way, that I'm talking about. I wasn't all that conscious in the 80s. I was born in 87, end of 87. So 88, 89, I was 2, going on 3 at the end of 89, right? 87? No, because I didn't turn 1 in 87. I turned 1 at the end of 8, turned 2 at the end of 89. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what my mom was up to back then, but during the 90s, she looked like a punk rock supervillain. That much I know. I can't imagine it was less so in the 80s, but I can't really speak to it. How about that? La 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 la. Crocodile Rock, I probably know more than the other songs I was thinking of, but not well enough to sing right now. Nor should I be singing anything anyway. Okay. Here's Bonehead not even realizing how lucky he is that nobody's noticed him. Just dangling. La la be. That's my... Oh, I'm just minding my own business. Little cue, music cue. Melody. Don't mind me. So here's the inside of the vent. Okay, we're going to draw this alarm blasting. This old-fashioned bulb. This coil in it. Dang. Yeah. As long as I'm at this table, I should never complain about anything again. Not just that it's been such a strain trying to ink while lying on the floor at my parents' house for the camera, but just that I have the setup, that I can't get into it too much, but that I have a nice warm bed here, that I just, man, life is full of luxuries. I'm just going to say, I didn't have a smooth time at my parents' house. Not their fault. Not their fault. Actually, when they got home because they were in Fort Knox or something. They were somewhere in Florida. Is Fort Knox in Florida? I don't know where they were. Fort Myers. Fort Knox. What a dummy. They were, I guess, in Fort Myers is where they were. Fort Knox. Anyway, when they got home, things went better for me, but I just had a crazy adventure this week. And it puts some things into perspective for me. Where I should really count my blessings, and generally I do. But I forget a lot too. So I think a lot of stuff that happened this week will be stuff I can point to and remind myself how blessed I am in my day-to-day life. So there's that. Here's Crux's shadow. Oh, I didn't drop Bonehead's body. He knew his way around a human body. The scientist was kind of disgraced. So when I start quoting lyrics, sometimes I just sound like a total lunatic. Well, it is not I who is the lunatic, but Mr. They Might Be Giants. In this case, I'm like, yeah, well, you like They Might Be Giants so much, maybe you are the lunatic. You're the one who listens to this satanic crap. They Might Be Giants are not Satanists. No! Listen to the sound of my voice. Put away your big blue cigars and make way. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, make way. The twin quasars of rock. Let's see. Let's see if I can find this. There's something coming. There's a new car on the horizon. It's coming very slowly. It makes a noise. It has kittens painted all over it, with a new kind of fur, but with a unique smell. Cleaner, but with a unique smell. Yet one of these kittens is not prepared to have a good time. It stands alone, away from the crowd. It's your kind of kitten. Now the time has come to climb into that car and to shake the paw of destiny. No, no, they might be giants or not Satanists. They are not posing as an easy listening Nazi rock band trying to lure intellectuals into believing what they already know to be true. No, listen to the sound of my voice. Put away your big blue cigars and make way. Yes, make way, ladies and gentlemen, for they might be giants. There you have it. La 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 la. I remember I never really watched the what did you call them? The banana splits. But I remember one morning when I was in kindergarten, I was getting ready for school, kindergarten school, in fact. And then my dad had put on the banana splits. So I was just kind of like consuming that for the first and only time. And I don't know. I don't remember thinking much of it, but that morning, it's just a detail I remember of this particular morning where my dad announced to me that I would not be going to school that day, but instead he was taking me to the museum of, oh, is it the Field Museum? I think so. The one with Sue, the T-Rex. Remember there was a big dinosaur display there that day? And I'm pretty sure I got to see Stegosaurus bones that day. I always liked Stegosauruses. Ones with the plates on their back. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know why skip kindergarten to go to the museum. I mean, what was it going to hurt? My kindergarten education? I was learning about dinosaurs, I guess. No, I don't know what the deal was, but that was a fun day. And I'm pretty certain it was just me and my dad. I don't know where my brother and my two sisters were that day. Because I believe at that point I had a, maybe not, but I had a second baby sister. That was 94. Probably. It was actually, if it was 94, she would have been born, I'm pretty sure. But that wasn't necessarily, it wasn't necessarily 94 at that point. My sister was born January 10th. Oh, dag. Her birthday's coming up in a few days. Then I have another brother whose birthday is January 20th. Man, I am not holding much ink on this brush today. I think I just got to get the whole thing saturated in ink. But I'm... Oof. I'm thinking right now, I've said it before, like when the time comes to put in the dialogue and all that, and letter this book, I'm gonna have to rewrite like every word, I think, from the script version to make it good. But like I like to do, it was like, I was writing the script. I edited the script a couple times, but then I was like, if I keep editing this script, I'm never going to get the story out. I'm just going to keep perfecting and perfecting. And the original plan was to spend a month writing the script. That seems like ambitious for me. And I had spent, I mean, particularly on this project, it seems ambitious to me. But I think I spent the first 3 months of 2020 writing the script, and I was like, well, I've already spent longer than I meant writing it by a lot, and I think it's a fair enough story for a first book that I think I should just start drawing it, and I can always punch up the dialogue as I go. And I've written scenes into the story since I started drawing it, so those are already drawn as well, penciled. But I guess, but like I'm always talking about, it's like I'm just trying to find ways to stop myself from not doing what I'm trying to do. So it not always the best practice. Like, do it well. Make sure you're doing it right and well. Sure, but my 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 big thing, my big concern is that I'm going to keep myself from doing the thing. So, I guess ultimately, as long as I'm putting out the project, a big project, it's allowed to be bad. Like, finished, not perfect. That's something Jake Parker says. Finished, not perfect. And that's kind of what I go by on this project. More so on the writing in this case, because, well, I don't know. It's not like I think all the drawings are perfect, but like actually this week I was inking pages, kind of my brain smoldering at how sloppy they were because of how I was having to draw them, the way I was having to draw them. But I was like, well, I can always touch up the pages when I get them home, but I don't. I'd rather get the pages done than not work on anything. And I was looking them over since I got them home, and they weren't tragically bad. There are things that need to be addressed absolutely before I scan them in, but it's not gonna break the project, and I can always edit digitally as well once they are scanned in, before I start coloring them. So, nothing to have a personal crisis about. That's really my big goal with this project is, I mean, as it was with the animation that I'm eventually going to put up on this channel, the Bonehead cartoon that I made. The thing was, make a project, make it as good as you can, but finish it. Do it as good as you can. But complete it. And maybe as good as you can isn't going to be the most beautiful thing in the world, but right now, but let's get some stuff under your belt. So the first big project was the cartoon. And that's forthcoming this year too. That'll show up on this channel soon. And then this is the second project. And then I'll do a non-Bonehead related project once this book is done. And I think that's going to be my Moon Valley book. I think that makes the most sense because that's already started. I've got about 50 pages of that drawn. Oh yeah. Everybody drink. Ryan bumped his head on the table or on the camera again. That's my viewers. My viewers are all rednecks. Did you see my redneck guy? Where's my redneck guy? Where's my redneck guy? Come on, redneck guy. Where the heck? I was just showing off these drawings. Oh, here. So yeah, I talked about the one that reminds me of I Hate Fairyland. This girl. Then there's this Bond villain. I don't know what he is. Here's this cowboy. I didn't draw his boot because I didn't know the anatomy of a spur. I couldn't remember the anatomy of a spur. And I kept putting off looking it up because I kept playing videos of people drawing. So I didn't want to interrupt and look it up. There's my businessman with a cigar. Some kind of, what do you call him? Grease monkey. Like a monkey mechanic guy. I was originally trying to draw a monkey mailman. I guess like MailChimp. And here's a sleeping fairy guy. Here's my redneck. My name is Mud. He reminds me of the guy from Primus in that video anyway. Which I don't even exactly remember, but my recollection is of the guy looking something like this. And some kind of cowboy guy. Tired cowboy man. Oh, I guess two cowboys. Two cowboys and a redneck. My name is Mud. I don't know. I haven't heard that song in a couple of years, probably. My name is Mud. And remember, mud spelled backwards is dumb. I just remember, like, as a kid, that one cartoon where Wile E. Coyote, he's like a jabbering mental patient by the end of the cartoon, and he knocks on, he pulls out his door, erects the little door that he has in that cartoon, and he like knocks on it. Bugs answers, and Wile E. Coyote goes like, "Oh, my name is Mud," and blah 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 blah, and then Bugs turns to the camera. He goes, "And remember, mud spelled backwards is dumb." I was like, I don't get it, but it's kind of weird. Wile E. Coyote really walked into that one. It's one of the ones where Wile E. Coyote's like, "My name is Wile E. Coyote, super genius." Yeah, one of the few where he talks. You know the ones. How long we been going? Over 2 hours, so it's 11:30. I've still got stuff to do. Gotta get my laundry out of the laundry thing, dryer, and some other stuff. Allegedly, I want to find the original Wonder Years. I gotta be up at 7 a.m., so. So I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow evening. What's up with his chin? Oh, I think that's supposed to be part of the bone, which is not in front of his face. Part of his bone bow tie. Oh. So I haven't seen the new Space Jam at all. nor do I really want to. But I remember I didn't know it was Billy West at the time doing Bugs and he doesn't do Daffy, but doing Bugs Bunny during the first Space Jam. But I know I didn't have a problem with any of the voices in the original Space Jam. Like they didn't seem off to me or weird. Like if I watched that movie today, I could tell it's not like Mel Blanc or whatever. But they don't seem out of place to me. And I'm just thinking, like Eric Bauza, not my favorite voice actor. There are some voices he does very, 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 very well. But I believe that's him that does Daffy Duck now. And I do not like his Daffy Duck. It would definitely stand out to me in a movie like Space Jam 2 if I was seeing it maybe not if I was seeing it as a kid today, because I suppose he does it on any animation of Daffy Duck that is out today. I don't know. Like if I grew up with him being Daffy Duck, I don't know. But I think who does Daffy Duck in the original Space Jam? I guess that's what I really want to know. Space Jam Daffy. Space Jam cast. Okay, that's a bunch of people. Pull up IMDb. Let's see. No. Okay, these are not the names I'm looking for. Dang it. A bunch of basketball players. Come on, man. Let's see who voices the characters. It lists all the live action characters in there. Okay, here we go. D. Bradley Baker. I should have known that. Now, D. Bradley Baker can do a very passable Daffy. And you know what? He was always somebody I singled out as not being my favorite voice actor. I've gained a lot of respect for D. Bradley Baker. He impresses me, actually. Another one I used to say I didn't like when I was a kid, because I was always like really into the credits of cartoons as a kid. I was kind of obsessed with voice actors. And another one I always used to say that I didn't like, that I've actually that I also really respect, is Jim Cummings. who did like Winnie the Pooh and Pete, and he was like Cat and Cat Dog. And let me see, what else does he do? I'm pretty sure he also voiced Tigger for like after a while. He plenty of stuff, but I always used to talk about how I didn't like him because you could pick him out too easily in all of his roles, and ain't nothing wrong with that. He's very talented. But yeah, today I always say nothing against him. He's good. He's good. He's a industry big shot. But Eric Bauza, I don't know. Like, there's a bunch of voices he does that never sat right with me. Starting with, and I believe he's an animator as well, but I don't think he animates anymore. But it was like Stimpy when they revived Ren and Stimpy for Spike TV back in the day. I mean, those episodes aren't good, but one of my least favorite things was that Bowser does Stimpy, and I don't think he does Stimpy. I don't think he did Stimpy very well. I mean, but not only did he not sound like Stimpy to me, but like there were like weird little quirks that he brought to the character that I thought were so weird. Like he always called Ren Run. Like, hey Run. Like the way he said it was just, it grated my nerves. But then again, I mean, he's not the only thing about those episodes that grates my nerves. But then, yeah, like his Daffy Duck, I'm not wild about either. Wait, okay, let's look at Space Jam 2. Is it in fact him that does Daffy Duck in the second movie? Well, I'll be waiting for the thing to do the thing. Ads. All cast and crew. Cast. Smaller cast in this movie. Bob Bergen does Tweety Bird. I don't see Porky Pig next to his name. Did they really not get Bob Bergen to do Porky Pig, or is Porky Pig not in this movie? That is a waste to have Bob Bergen in your movie doing Looney Tunes characters and not have him do Porky Pig. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Yeah, Eric Bauza. Okay. Oh, no. Eric Bauza does Porky Pig, not Bob Bergen. curiouser and curiouser. they he you know he's explaining how he does the Porky voice in John DiMaggio's documentary. I know that voice, and he's like breaking down how he does Porky Pig, right? And he kind of like wraps it all up by saying, and that's job security. You learn how to do Porky Pig. And then they don't even cast him in Space Jam 2 as Porky Pig. At least he's in the thing. That's like putting Bill Farmer in a movie with Goofy, and then he doesn't even voice Goofy. Well, I don't know. That'd be a more egregious sin, I'd say. Like if you did a movie with Goofy and Bill Farmer was in it, but he didn't voice Goofy, you're the biggest fool. You're the biggest fool I ever heard of. Of course, I'm sure some other dude does Goofy now, but you know, but I mean, if you put that actor in the movie, just get him to do Goofy. And I think I listened for him on like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse or some such nonsense. And I was listening for Bill Farmer. I was like, is he still doing Goofy? Is he still doing Goofy? And I'm pretty sure it is not him, and it is a watered down voice. Like, forgive me, Eric Bauza, but like your Daffy Duck, like your Stimpy, and like I say, I am sure he does a lot of voices really well. I know he does. I know he does. I know he does. I know he does. But get him his own. I mean, like, he does Marvin the Martian really well. That's a lame one to be proud of. But like, you know, if you've got D. Bradley Baker everywhere under the sun, and he's doing Looney Tunes still. I don't know that he still is, but I don't see why he wouldn't be. He's still all over the place. Why wouldn't you have him do roles that he was classically playing still? Like Bob Bergen, he is in a whole dang movie doing, like, I don't know. He's an established voice as Porky Pig. I think the idea is he's probably not currently doing those roles in the animations, the non-movie animations. So he's just doing supplementing roles in the film, but I don't know. So he's not the official voice anymore. Those guys are older. That movie alone is 20 years old. Space Jam. So I forget what got me talking about this to begin with. I said something like, "Oh, I was doing my spell backwards is dumb." Like I'm an immaculate Bugs Bunny myself. You know who I'll bet? I'll bet. What's his name? Eric Bauza. I'll bet he could do a decent Sylvester. I'll bet he could do a pretty good Sylvester. I don't know that he voices Sylvester at all, but I can kind of hear it in my head. Yeah, I could hear him doing that. I don't know that he's ever done it. But I would like that a lot more than his Daffy Duck, I'll bet. Incidentally, if you're as much of a nut about voice acting as I am, man, well, I was going to say check out that documentary I mentioned, I Know That Voice, that John DiMaggio made. It's really, really fun. But another thing that I really liked and was really getting into was back in the day. I don't know about now. I don't think it's the same now or if it's even still going. But Talkin' Tunes with Rob Paulson. I listened to many, 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 many episodes that last I looked, were not available anymore, and they were just a couple years ago. And then he got in with the Nerdist, Chris Hardwick's channel, and all those old episodes disappeared. If anyone knows anything about that, please, 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 please tell me if there's anywhere I can find those old archived episodes. I'm sure there's somewhere on the internet, but there is some solid gold in those first original, like 200 episodes or so. And I went back because I was telling Liam likes Carl Weezer from Jimmy Neutron. He does like impressions of Carl Weezer all the time, right? And he can do it pretty well. I'll have to get him to do it on this show, but he's got to say appropriate stuff, okay? I can't have him doing his usual shtick because it gets a little naughty. But we would do dueling Carl Weezers sometimes, just to get a laugh out of each other. But anyway, one day I was going to show him an episode, because there was an episode that I had heard where he does the whole episode. He's just like reading Rob Paulson is reading fan mail, and he does the whole episode as Carl Weezer. And I wanted to show Liam that episode, and that's when I discovered that all the original episodes were gone. It was just like the Nerdist ones left. So I'll have to look. I'll have to scrounge the internet, because there were really great interviews that were wiped out, much to my horror. I wonder if they'd be on Spotify anywhere. Probably not, but I'm sure they're on the internet somewhere. But yeah, there's great Bill Farmer episodes. There's a live episode where they're on stage, and he's got June Foray on it before she died. June Foray. Exclusive interview with June Foray. It's cute. She can barely hear because she's like in her 90s, and she's like got both her hearing aids cranked to 1 billion. And he's like, could you do me a favor, Miss Foray? Oh, what's that, dear? She sounds like Granny, for real. And then, can you please say Hokey Smokes Bullwinkle? Hokey Smokes Bullwinkle. And, she just sounds like a 90-year-old Rocky. But she was voice acting to the day she died. I know she was still, I believe she was still doing Granny from time to time. I don't know about that, but I know she was still doing voice acting. Like, she was on the new Garfield and Friends, which looked ugly. I don't know if it's still going. I doubt it. I don't know. It was just a little too plain ice cream looking. But yeah, I know. June Foray was on that in her 90s. That was something they were talking about on the interview. He's like, "You're still going." But that was cool. He did some really cool shows, Rob Paulson. I have his book here somewhere. And I've barely read it. But I don't know. I don't have a good reason other than I never get around to reading anything. But at the beginning of that podcast, he was always like, "I'm gonna write a book someday," and like he was always talking about it. And he's finally put it out. It's called Voice Lessons. Is that what it's called? It is around here somewhere. Where's my dang book? Here, no. Dang. Oh, it's right in front of me. Voice Lessons. Bango. How a couple of Ninja Turtles, Pinky, and an Animaniac saved my life. Yeah, he had throat cancer a while back. But he beat it. He's doing good, still acting. Yeah, that was a really good podcast. One of these days I'll go on a hunt for the old episodes. And I swear it was like two like at least 3 years ago they were all available. And then just one day they disappeared. I turned into Bill Cosby there for a second. 2 years ago. I went to prison. No, I think it was longer than that. Wallaby. So I'm gonna. I haven't done it for this month because I haven't been home. But I'm gonna lay out my planner with all the pages I intend to do. So starting at page 81 for January 1st, and like I say, I'm still on page 80. Through I think it is page 111, which because I added 2 pages in between now and then. to the story, 111 is technically 109. Let me check. So what's 31 plus 81? No, plus 80. So 80 plus 31, 111. Yeah. So the goal is to hit 109, right? Because somewhere in there's 2 extra pages. Though if I hit 111, those are sitting in this room too. The objective is that the goal of December and January is met by the end of this month. So I'm going to lay it down January 1st, page 81, through January 31st, page 109, because I'm going to put whatever it is, like 72.2, 72.3, on whatever days those fall on. So as long as I hit page 109 by the end of this month, I can do double pages, whatever days. I don't have to hit that page that day for any given day, as long as I hit the final goal at the end of the month. So I'm starting out behind the 8 ball. But we're going to catch up. And both the goals for December and January will be satiated by the end of the month. That's the plan. Like I missed the deadline at the end of December, and I'm still behind now. But by the end of the month, I'll have rectified both months, right? And we'll be on cue. We'll have made it right. No, my, including this week, the last 3 weeks have just been like troublesome surprise after troublesome surprise after troublesome surprise, and I'm not making excuses. I still aim to hit the goals. Technically. But, well, we just gotta bust our butt this month to catch up. We'll get there. Just you wait and see. I did do about 31 pages last month, regardless. I think was what I figured out. I still did hit 31 pages. I just didn't land where I said I was trying to hit. But it was more pages than I realized I had done anyway. So, I was setting myself up to do more than 31 pages. And falling short, I still hit 31 pages for the month. And I didn't even get pages in every day by the end of it. So I've missed 2 days this month so far. But we'll catch up. I'm not trying to hit more missed days this month. And every page I ink, it's happening right here on this channel. I'm here to draw. We ain't messing around. Look at them running off. Bonehead drops down. That's a little too much action for what he's doing there, but I think I'll change that effect. Something outside. Traffic or something. It's kind of prolonged. It just sounds like. Okay, I think it stopped. No, it's still going. Sounds like there's like a snowblower or something going off in the distance, but it's not like there's newly fallen snow anywhere. I don't know what that is. Maybe someone's finally getting around to it? I don't know. Okay. Shivers. I'm hungry. What is that from? I'm hungry. Okay. Here's our alarm. So they run to make sure their little top secret project is still safe, even if it means running into a fire. Apparently. Is that important to them? I would say for Denton Crux, he really does believe it is that important. He would run into a fire for it. Shivers is just his truly loyal assistant. Was I even drawing on screen? I have no idea. I'm sorry, I'm terrible. Okay, here's old BH. Well, I was going to start drawing him, but now I'm not. I'm a liar. They said you were the king of liars, and I believed you and called you sire. But I realize now that I have been deceived. Those are the secret lyrics of the They Might Be Giants song, Road Movie to Berlin. It was part of the song. The lyrics are actually in the lyric booklet for the album Flood. In the song, those lyrics are actually there, but they didn't put them into the actual track on the album, though they are in there on the demo of the song. And I think it just didn't get back to the people writing up the liner notes that they weren't included on the final track. But they do sing it in when they do that song in shows. They do sing that part. So I guess it's not such a secret, but oops. Ask me another They Might Be Giants question. What's that? You're not a total nerd, so you don't have They Might Be Giants questions off the top of your head? Just me, huh? Well, I don't have questions because I know all the answers, sucker. I asked all the questions already. And now I'm an encyclopedic font of knowledge. Stuff that I don't even care about. Just filling anymore. Just filling my head where, I could be learning another language or, besides lyrics to They Might Be Giants songs that are written in Latin or something. I could actually learn another language if I didn't have all this stuff filling my head. Or I could like learn to change my oil or something. Learn to change a tire but there's only like finite brain space in my head, and all my They Might Be Giants knowledge won't allow for anything new. It's taking up all the RAM in my head. I know what you're thinking. Why don't you just learn something new and it'll kick out some of that useless They Might Be Giants knowledge? Would that it were true. This stuff was so important to me for so long that it's kind of like, like when stuff sits in your fridge and rots long enough. That's so gross. It just kind of like fuses and is permanently embedded into your the bottom of your fridge. I don't know. A weird, gross sounding example that I came up with there. But yeah, it's like burned into my head forever. Sorry. That ain't going anywhere. Sorry, Charlie. You ain't learning. No, you can't teach this old dog new tricks. This brain is done for. Double line on that. Oh, I'm like way off. I'm sorry. I'll never stop making the mistake of drawing off camera. He keeps apologizing, but he never learns. Easy. That's right, I'm crazy. Boy, I'm so crazy. Okay. I think that worked. Let me throw this wall here. Oh, I'm gonna leave it at that. No, hold the phone. As my good friend Shrek once said, hold the phone. Hold the phone. Okay, that's today's page. Everybody, not the most brilliant. Could stand for some blacks. But yeah, that's where we're leaving it. Here, I'm gonna do one more line. I'm gonna wash my brush, grab my laundry, and start the next thing for my day, even though it's 12:30. Jiminy. Okay. Hold it. Oh. So it's good to be back, everybody. It's good to be back. I think I just smudged my camo, my camwa. It's good to be back, everybody. Be back in this specific saddle. Look at the shadows making my eyebrows look like crazy. Submitted for your approval by the Midnight Society, or whatever they said. Good to be back in this room. I couldn't be happier. I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe not as late as today, but tomorrow evening. And we'll do another page. 2 if we can muster it, but no promises there. But we will get some multiple page days in the coming weeks. And I have I think we're going to have a good month from here on out. I think it's going to be a good day. Good bunch of days. Good month. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what we're going to have. We're going to have a good month. All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. Keep on watching. We're going to make some comics. Goodbye.